Hi, it is Mr. Otaku. This beautiful woman was snuggling up to an old man who looked like a skeleton, and there was a strange amount of liquid coming out of his body. The man's name is Wad, and despite having billions of dollars in assets and a young and gorgeous wife, he's suffering from a rare disease that's left him severely dehydrated. Even though he drinks gallons of water every day, it seems to have no effect on his body, which is often racked with painful spasms and lacks any moisture. Despite the efforts of 80 world-renowned doctors who have cut him open, extracted his blood, and even tasted his urine, Wad's condition only worsened with time. His young wife grew disillusioned and started having secret affairs with the housekeeper to fulfill her needs. However, things changed when a mysterious man named Black Jack arrived on the scene. Despite not having a medical license, he's known as a brilliant medical genius who can cure any illness for a hefty price tag of $3 million. Desperate for a cure, Wad agrees to let Black Jack operate on him. The basement of his old castle is transformed into a state-of-the-art operating room with the latest medical equipment. Wad's wife, Sayuri, asks Black Jack to save her husband, and without saying a word, he walks into the data room to study the past doctors' medical records. These are the records of many of the world's leading doctors. Despite attempts to culture his blood, no pathogens were detected, and Wad's physical and mental state continued to decline from the pain. Black Jack was at a loss, unsure of how to save him. Late one night, Sayuri came to him, 5 months pregnant and determined to end her affair with the housekeeper. She believed she was carrying Wad's child and begged Black Jack to find a way to save him, willing to pay any price. Although Black Jack understood Sayuri's desperation, he was not interested in women and focused solely on his research. Finally, he discovered a fatal flaw in previous attempts to treat Wad's condition. All previous surgeries had been performed after the onset of the attack, but if they could operate during the seizure, they would be able to understand what was happening in Wad's body. Unfortunately, operating on someone in the throes of a seizure was almost impossible. But the next day, a young boy gave Black Jack an idea. The boy was just a thief who had sneaked into the castle to steal something. He got bitten by the guard dog and got help from Black Jack. The only reason he stole it was to build a well. His father had the Chimera Virus, and he would die from the virus if he didn't drink from a good water source. This statement instantly touched Black Jack. His intuition told him that this matter was definitely related to Wad's disease. The boy's father did have similar symptoms. His body was as thin and dry as a corpse. He had to keep drinking water to relieve the pain, but this time the boy's father couldn't hold out and died in pain after a strange blue light emanated from his mouth and eyes. The sound of the boy's crying attracted the villagers and the late arrival of the local doctor. From the female doctor, Black Jack learns that the Chimera Virus has been extinct for 150 years. Legend has it that a person with the disease can only live 3 to 10 years at most. Every day before they die, they suffer. Drinking water provides brief relief, but the next attack is exacerbated until the patient eventually spits out a blue light and dies. The female doctor's brother also suffered from the disease. After obtaining their medical licenses in England, the two siblings immediately returned to the island to fight the Chimera Virus. But now the brother is tormented by the pain, and the sister can't even do anything. Black Jack has just returned to the castle. Sayuri is in danger because she accidentally fell in the bathroom, and the fetus in her womb is now extremely unstable. If Black Jack doesn't arrive on time, both mother and child may die. At the same time, Wad also found the housekeeper. In fact, he already knew about the affair between the two of them. But due to his poor health, he ignored it. Now that Sayuri is no longer interested in the housekeeper, he ordered him to leave immediately. After an all-night rescue, Black Jack manages to save both mother and son with his superb medical skills. He immediately investigates the water source of the castle. He finds out that a huge pump had extracted the underground water from the deepest part of the island. This is arguably the best water source on the island. That's why Wad has been sick for 7 years and is still alive. Perhaps Black Jack's healing skills were recognized by Wad, or he knew he wouldn't live long. Wad not only decided to give Black Jack an extra 200,000 bounty, he also spilled the story of his life. It turns out Wad lived here until he was 10 years old. But then the Chimera virus suddenly broke out on a small scale. Only his own family got sick one by one, but the disease was quickly brought under control. Fearing contagion, the village quickly united and burned Wad's family to death before the outbreak was complete. Only Wad survived by jumping into the well to escape the villagers' persecution. Strangely enough, Wad did not get sick afterwards. He left the island. After decades of hard work, he finally achieved fame and fortune and married his wife Sayuri, who was 40 years younger than him. He thought he could enjoy his life. But then the Chimera virus came back to him. He had a feeling that next time he would die with a blue light coming out of his mouth. So he begs Black Jack to operate on him during the next attack. He hopes to die to solve the mystery of the Chimera virus. But little did Wad know that the villagers would repeat their evil deeds before the disease struck. Because now the Chimera virus is back and Wad has the island's best water source all to himself. The ugliness of human nature is once again on display. Everyone is pointing their hatred at Wad. The scythe was raised again, ready to do the so-called stupid justice again. At the same time, the first winter snow fell. Sayuri asked the servant where her husband was because she knew that Wad loved to see the snow. She wanted to be with him to make him happy. On the way to the operating table, Wad saw the beauty of the scenery and suddenly remembered something. Black Jack thought he had forgotten something, but Wad said that he hadn't said good morning to Sayuri today. He used to do it every day, but he didn't want to make anyone worry anymore. Just as they reached the basement, Wad's illness took over. He started convulsing violently, even though the general anesthetic had no effect. Black Jack was hesitant because he lacked confidence in the operation. Wad kept howling, but his eyes kept indicating towards Black Jack. Finally, Black Jack used his excellent skills to open Wad's chest cavity with a scalpel. At that moment, Wad's heart aorta emitted a blue light. Wad spit out the blue light and died. Meanwhile, the villagers had turned into devils in the name of justice and were determined to burn down the entire castle. The butler did not run away. Instead, he went to Sayuri's room and hid her and the servant in the closet. Then, he grabbed an iron bar and prepared to resist, but the villagers killed him with just one blow. In the chaos, light and darkness were blurred, and the only thing that stood out was the burning fortress. When the villagers arrived, all they saw was Wad's body. The old man never harbored any hatred towards anyone, and even in his death, he sought to unlock the secrets of the Chimera virus. Nevertheless, he was still despised and disliked by the villagers. Black Jack, who was typically stoic, couldn't contain his frustration any longer and let out a helpless roar. As for whether Sayuri survived or not, no one knows. Years later, the legendary Chimera virus became known to the world. It is a virus that remains hidden within the walls of the aorta blood vessels and can only be discovered when the patient's chest is opened during an onset. Despite finding some clues, a cure for the disease has yet to be discovered. The great Dr. Minea was the one who discovered the virus, and the hosts couldn't help but admire her skill in operating on patients with full-body spasms. Minea simply smiled and attributed her success to a mysterious and brave patient who gave his life to unravel the mystery of the Chimera virus. If you enjoyed this, please give a compliment, and I'll see you in the next video.